Hi, I'm Victor. Have you noticed that it's getting warmer in the summer and less cold during the winter? Well, it's all because this little thing called climate change. And it's going to affect all of us. It's a natural carbon cycle. And includes things like photosynthesis, respiration, and natural decomposition of organisms. Now, this balance has existed for thousands of years, but human beings have thrown it completely out of whack. Back in the 1800s, there was this little thing called the Industrial Revolution. Now, with the Industrial Revolution came things like factories, and inventions like the car, the plane, and various other things that have to run on fuel. So there's one thing that humans have been using since then for fuel, and that has been fossil fuels. And the burning of fossil fuels releases CO2 or carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, just throwing the carbon cycle out of whack. And the problem with carbon dioxide is that it's a greenhouse gas. What greenhouse gases do is that they trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. And what this does is it makes our climate hotter. And that can cause all sorts of problems. Because this rapid heat is creating things like droughts, heat waves, all kinds of bad stuff. And the problem with heat waves is that it's very dangerous for people like the elderly, for infants, and even your fluffy little buddy Fido. Because it can often be fatal from things like heat stroke or heat exhaustion.
As Victor is saying, with the rising temperatures, here is a graph explaining the 10 hottest years all since 1998. And you can see one interesting trend. Since 2014, we are seeing a correlation of just higher temperature years after one another. 2014, 2015, and 2016 all line up after each other. We don't know the future of 2017, but it's most likely going to continue the trend. Back to you, Victor.
California is also going to be affected by, rising sea levels. We have a lot of coastal cities that could experience a lot of flooding. Say bye to Santa Barbara. And also, California is not the only place that's going to be affected. As my friend will tell you, the whole world's in danger. Well, California's not the only one that's going to feel these effects. The entire country is going to experience these heat waves. And along the coast, you're going to experience rising sea levels. Places like New York and Florida. Some cities could be even completely submerged by water. And the higher sea levels will cause more severe hurricanes, and that means more destructive hurricanes. Millions of people could lose their homes and even their lives. It's not only going to affect the United States, but the entire world. There's islands that could be submerged. Complete countries could be lost to rising sea levels, including some famous cities like the City of Love, Venice, Italy, could be completely submerged. Amsterdam, all these cities could be lost to the sea. So just like California, the whole world's going to experience the rising heat. That means heat waves are going to affect everyone. For instance, in Europe 2003, almost 40,000 people died because of a massive heat wave that they experienced. They died of things like I said before, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and predominantly elderly were the ones affected. So, we've been talking about rising sea levels quite a bit, but we didn't talk about what's causing it. Well, the places that are going to experience the most heat rise are the North and South Poles. And the North and South Poles hold the ice caps, and the ice caps are melting, and that's what's causing the rising sea levels. Well, along with the ocean expanding because they're getting warmer. Now, their whole entire ecosystems on the North and South Pole. So animals like the polar bear are in danger of going extinct because they're losing hunting grounds because of receding ice caps. And I don't think any one of us wants to see polar bears go away. CO2 is having drastic effects on our climate. all these cars all around the world burning up fossil fuels, releasing the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It's going to cause so many problems. Raising global climates, melting the ice caps, causing more heat waves, causing more droughts, causing severe hurricanes. It's not going to be a fun time. I can promise you that.
Well, is there anything that we can do about it?
Well, if you want to do something, we need to do it now. We need to start decreasing our carbon emissions, which is also known in scientific term as mitigation. But we don't need just mitigation. We need to adapt as well. However, for us citizens to feel like we are doing something to contribute our combat against global climate change, there's little things that we can do. You can ride a bike, you can carpool with your friends, or buy locally grown foods, such as the UCR Farmers Market. And to make an even bigger difference, we need to be involved in politics. We need politicians that are going to do something to combat against these serious side effects of global climate change, and they are not positive. Some politicians might say climate change is not real, but we have to act now than later, or else we are going to experience these effects of global climate change. If we can do something now, we can combat against it and reduce the effects. And that is all.